Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, it's afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny day here on the south coast. I just wanted to share with you some of the quirks of my Citroen Ami, some of the things you should consider when you're buying one, some of the things to look out for, and some of the problems that you can get that I've had. So let's go. I'll be as quick as I can because you don't want to be watching me all day on YouTube. So I'm going to start with start with the wheels. Wheels, pretty rusty from the day I got them. Some rust spots. I put wax oil on them. It's really solved the problem. So spray your wheels with some rust preventative. It'll be really helpful. Wheel trims. A couple of my wheel trims have fallen off. And I know a guy on YouTube's had the same problem. The rings on the back of the wheel trims, they haven't been installed correctly in some of them. One of the tension rings that's supposed to supply the outward force is in the wrong position, so they don't go on tight enough. So I fixed it, works fine. They haven't fallen off since, so just be mindful. They also sit quite proud of the surface, so if you go very tight to something, it's very easy to scuff them like I've done. Beautiful work, eh? Beautiful, beautiful. Big thing as well, on the back, when I was driving along one day, debris and twigs got caught on the back of the Ami. I couldn't figure out why, and now I know why. On this side, the left side, the driver's side, I can put my hand right behind here, so all the debris can clear the wheel. But on the other side, the right side, it's too tight. I can't put my hand in. And you can already see some debris and marks here from where debris's been rubbing against the plastic. It's like on my Ami, the body or the frame isn't aligned properly. It's a little bit off. So please check that before you buy yours. That'd be a really good idea. Also, the frame, the metalwork isn't really well protected from the elements. And my big gripe, everything's exposed under here. So cover all the metalwork with some rust preventative treatment. That will really make a big difference. It really, really will. Even these areas here could be doing with it as well. That's that done. Now, doors. The lovely good old doors. These doors, they just rattle. It doesn't matter what you do. I've adjusted them a million times. They all start to rattle again. It just happens. The alignment's not great. On this particular one, like you can sort of see where the body sort of sits out, because I've had to pull the door in so tight to stop it from rattling, but it will rattle eventually again. The other thing too is the locks. The locks here, they're rubbish, to be honest. They are really rubbish. What happens, all the dirt and grime goes from underneath. All the dirt and grit goes behind the mechanism and really clogs it up. So it gets really, really notchy to put the key in. So I've put oil in here, grease, everything. So every month, every couple of weeks, put some maintenance lubrication in here and it will really help. The other night, I couldn't lock it because I just couldn't get the key in. It was really frustrating. So that's something you need to bear in mind, is the lock. What else can I show you? Yeah, the front, the lovely front. So, how pretty she is. But the wiper isn't in the best position. It only covers sort of 2/3 of the screen, so this area can get pretty covered up. The other thing is the wiper blade is a little bit too long, so when it goes up into the upper position, it bangs into this area. I've tried to adjust it, but it still does it, so that's also something to be mindful of. Also, because it's open underneath, all of the dirt and grit sprays up underneath and can land right on the bottom of the screen. So you don't want grit scratching your screen. So that's another thing to be mindful of. You can already, as pollen and stuff, you can sort of see all the debris lies along the bottom of the screen there. What else can I show you that's really interesting? Okay, let's go inside. Oh my, okay. So, problem number one on the inside is the heat. When the sun's out, it's like an oven in here. It is so hot. You can open up the windows, air blows through, but because of the glass, it's really, really hot. The other thing as well, underneath these straps, it's open. I've put tape in here to stop the draft. When I picked the Ami up, these straps were soaking wet, because when you power hose the Ami, if water goes through here onto the side, it can leak in through the door lock, run up here and drip down. So be mindful of that. I've covered them up to stop the draft. I'll take it off now the weather's getting better, but winter time, cover them up, otherwise you'll freeze your bits off. The other thing regarding cold weather is the demister and the steaming up issue. These things steam up like a sauna. It's really, really bad. In cold, wet weather, it steams up really, really badly in here. And the problem is, on these areas here, you cannot see out of these windows. So your forward vision is really limited. When you're going into when you're turning into a corner, you've got to be very careful. You have to wipe it down, be careful. You can get some anti-fog stuff to really minimize the fogging up, but it only does so much. So that's the first thing you should put on there, is some anti-fogging stuff, and it will really help. Days like this, no problem at all, it's fine, just hot. Also in my Ami, the accessories here, none of the accessories would fit, because especially this, the netting here for the suitcase, the little handbag holder, they wouldn't fit because there wasn't any nuts welded to the frame, so they'd nowhere to mount them to. The dealer had to make a bit of a retrofit, but they're fitted now, so that's also something that affected my Ami, or affected a batch of Amis. Funny enough, let me just get my key. This is another crap YouTube video from me. Congratulations everyone. So let me put this key in here. The other thing too is, on the dashboard, on my dashboard, it's more dim on the right hand side of the dash and brighter on the left hand side of the dash. So when you've got sunglasses on, I can barely read the dashboard. Now, funny story, I'll spin back around. Funny story. I rang Ami last week about my replacement Ami that I've been waiting for the last 2 months, I guess. And they said, oh yeah, your Ami's at the PDI centre, excuse me, because they're having a recall because of the speedo. I was like, oh, that's a bit odd. I said, is it because you can't read it properly? They said, no, it's reading the wrong speed. So they've been calibrating the speedos, or doing some software updates. So that might be a reason why. I don't know. Mine seems to read okay. It says 28 mile an hour. I don't know if that's true or not. The other thing too that's funny, when you fully charge the Ami, it will say 46 miles on the display. But that 46th mile is vanity. It lasts for about 7 seconds on this one, and then it's gone. It's the fastest depleting mile you'll ever see. So it really only does about 40 miles to a charge on a good day. In the winter, I'm probably getting about 32. It's not so good at all. And turtle mode comes in all the time. It's just not been built for the winter. And that's one of my gripes, as you've probably seen in other videos. The other thing I want to show you quickly, and the reason that I'm giving this Ami back, is the leaking issue, like I've said a million times. Water comes in there, runs down by the seat, and then goes onto the floor, and you get a puddle of water here. Some people have said theirs leak as well. Other people have said theirs don't leak. I think it just affects some Amis. I don't know. But it's something to do with water getting in through the panels. So yeah, it gets wet. This Ami will go back eventually, hopefully. I really do hope. Oh, I'll get back in. It's just so hot in here. The other thing as well is, when I turn left... Oh, didn't do it, you bugger. When I turn left, or is it turn right? Either way, when I use the indicator stalk, I move the wiper control by mistake, and it puts a sweep on the screen. So I end up doing phantom sweeps all the time. It's really annoying, but I think if you really are gentle with the control stalk, it minimizes the problem, but it does happen on mine quite a lot. The other more serious problem that I've had is to do with putting it in gear. So the gear controls are here. Drive, neutral, reverse. When I cruise into the post office in the morning sometimes, I quickly put it into reverse to reverse it onto the road, and then press the brake, and then quickly put it back into drive again to look as cool as possible. But of course what happens, it refuses to go back into drive, stays neutral, and I look like a complete bell end in the middle of the road. And it's done that 3 times now, and I don't know why. So again, it could just be me, or it could be a wee anomaly, I don't know. So that's that. You can get a blind for the screen, for the glass. You need it. In the summer, it is so hot in here. That roof is hot to touch. And I'm not in the south of France, so yeah, it's really, really quite warm in here. So that's something that you would have to do, is that. Now, is there anything else I want to mention? Yes, windows. A couple of fine chaps on YouTube have said about their window sills not seating correctly when they close the window. So when I close the window, my seals are fine. They actually work okay. They land in the right position every time. I've never had that problem. But what happens is the rubber seal goes behind the glass, so when you close the window, the seal is in the wrong place, so water would get in. But thankfully on this one, hasn't been an issue, so I can't complain. But it's definitely something to look out for. Definitely something to look out for. Is there anything else I can think of here? So I've done the locks, done the doors, I've done the wheel trims. Is there anything else, guys, I'm missing? Oh yes, my belt has started to slip. So when I'm taking off in the morning, the belt's making a bit of a squeaky sound. I've took the front panel off and it all looks okay. The dealer reckons it's just one of those things. It's not lost any drive at all, but it's definitely squeaking when I take off now. Also, things are just starting to rattle a bit more. And I know that seat probably rattles a bit too, the child seat, but there's just a few more rattles coming from the back. That's a wee bit annoying, and the seat frame starting to squeak on my side. I do throw it around quite a bit, but it does get a wee bit annoying. And like I mentioned before, the brake pedal is just in a really weird position. This middle area sits out further, and yeah, it's just really annoying. I seem to put my foot on the plastic there by mistake. What else? Oh yeah, the fan blower is also quite noisy. It is quite noisy. It's like a mild hairdryer. It's not too bad, but it doesn't do very much. That's the problem. And when you do put the heater on, it does deplete the battery by about 1/3, and it doesn't really do very much. So try to leave it off as much as you possibly can. And I think that's about it, guys. I think that's most of the issues that I've had with my Ami. The leaking, the doors rattling, not going into drive sometimes, the squeaking belt. Just little annoying things, but it hasn't actually let me down. It hasn't broke down, and I really love driving it. It's so much fun. I would definitely take one for a test drive. I would just be mindful of the service as being a bit lackluster, and you know, it is cheaply built, but it's great fun, so I wouldn't be put off. But definitely go and have a good look at one before you buy one. So that's everything, guys. I shall sign off now and go and pick up my little one from nursery, and you can see that wonderful creation. So have a great day, everybody. Any questions or comments, just let me know. Take care. Bye, everyone.